A very good evening, viewers. Those around East Africa, I say good evening to you. For our viewers outside East Africa, good afternoon, good morning. Well, I am Alun Evelyn Onying. I welcome you to Your Opinion. The opinion is basically to air out views and opinions about what happens around among youths in various contexts. So, right about now, I have a very good team that I'm working with. I have Mr. Sharif.
Yeah.
And I have Mr. Ambrose, who I am going to allow to share with us about drug abuse, which is a very important issue tackling youth today. Thank you very much. Let me give them the space to introduce themselves. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Evelyn. My name is Muchibi Sharif. I'm a software developer as well as a peer educator under the UNESCO O3 Plus project, which is operating in 4 institutions. That is Makerere University, Jinja campus, where I come from, Makerere University main campus, Ndeje campus, Ndeje University, and KIU. So I'm very humbled to be here today. We are seeking an understanding about drug abuse, solutions, and then let's delve in and see how we go about it.
Well, thank you very much, Sharif. We have had the issue that we are going to discuss today. We are going to talk about drug abuse, and let me hear something well defined from Mr. Ambrose. Please introduce yourself, Mr. Ambrose.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. My name is Mrs. Ambrose. I'm a young leader. I am
young. Did you say young?
Yes, a young leader.
Oh, yeah.
A youth leader. A marketeer and I'm also a music producer.
Wow. On the beats?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm very happy to be here actually on the issue of drug abuse because it's one of the issues that is escalating in our communities. And of course, when drug abuse comes in, there are a lot of side effects. That's where the mental health comes in and all other stuff. So, thank you, Madam Evelyn, for hosting me tonight.
Yes, very welcome, Mr. Ambrose and Mr. Sharif. Well, so without taking a lot of our time, I would love to start introducing what we are talking about. So drug abuse has been a very interesting issue in our community right now. We have students drop out of school. We have students become rich. Yes, people become rich from
business.
drugs. So we really need to air out a lot on that matter. So without taking a lot of time, let me ask Mr. Sharif to give us an insight about drug abuse.
Wow.
So Mr. Sharif, what do you know about drug abuse? What is it? And tell us something you know about it.
Well, as a peer educator and as I've introduced myself, I have a lot to share to you. Before I dive into what you've asked me, allow me to tell you a brief story. I want to share this story to whoever is watching. Now, I want to share a story about Sarah. Sarah was a bright young girl who hoped that one day maybe she can change the world. Not knowing that one day life can take a dark turn due to drug abuse. The devastating effect. First of all, imagine a world whereby 269 million people, that is, I'm talking about 1 of 20 of us, have used drugs in the past year. Imagine that shocking statistics.
But not all have died.
Not all have died, but that shows an urgent reminder for us to address this pressing issue, because Sarah didn't think that her life will take a dark turn. she ended up not reaching her goals. Now today, I don't know whom I'm talking about. Am I talking to John? Am I talking to Sharif? Well, Sarah's life could have been better if she hadn't gone into drugs. What is drug abuse? Well, drug abuse is the excessive, addictive use of drugs, either legal drugs or illegal drugs. We shall look at the legal ones and the illegal ones. So the excessive and addictive use of drugs. Thank you.
Okay, well, the excessive and addictive use of drugs.
Yeah.
Well, that is what Sharif knows about drug abuse. So, Sharif, when I was growing up personally, I knew that people have to, you have to take marijuana for you to be considered a drug addict.
Wow.
Where
did you grow up from?
I grew up from the sugar canes of the sugarcane streets.
Instead of taking sugar canes, you are taking marijuana.
No, I grew up knowing that. Of
Oh.
course, the community I lived in. So I thought drugs were marijuana and cocaine. But when you're telling me even legal, I feel like maybe I was really misguided. Can you elaborate more? What are those drugs?
Oh, okay. Now, the legal ones, I can give you an example of alcohol. We have that alcohol is allowed if you are 18 years and above. Then there are also some medical prescriptions which are given by the medical personnel, like Dr. Rita can tell you, take this and this, but at the end of the day, you find that it is addictive. When you don't take it, you don't feel like you're fine. So there are also some illegal ones, the way you've mentioned marijuana, cocaine, nicotine, yeah. Those are the examples.
Well, thank you very much, Sharif.
Yeah.
I think we have picked something from that.
Wow.
Before we go any further, let me still get back to Ambrose. Ambrose, being a youth leader, I'm very sure that you have seen a lot of youths, a lot of people go into drugs. You've gone out with youths for events and all that, and I'm very
And
sure
he's a
that-
producer.
Exactly, you're a producer, and we have that mindset that if you are related to music in any way, it is fine to do
Call it
drugs.
a was.
What do you think pushes youth to go into drugs?
Drug abuse is a chronic condition where someone is addicted to taking drugs or substances for either pleasure or because, they're addicted to something. Adding on to my colleagues' examples of drugs, even you people who take Panadol or us people who take Panadol,
Yeah,
feeling
they are watching.
and then at the time you don't take Panadol, you feel as if you're going to die. And this is more recurring into people who are used to taking Panadol extra. Well, the question you asked, why?
Like, why do they engage in that? Why do they engage in taking drugs? Because you associate with youths, and we would love to know what reason do they actually give for doing that?
Yes, one of the reasons is because some want to fit in the society, so they decide to go to drugs. Others, they want to experience how to take drugs and what is the feel they get. Then others, it's because of peer pressure. And at once I was about to become a victim of drug abuse with the peer pressure.
You narrowly survived.
Yeah, I narrowly survived because
Specifically, what were you going to start with as an amateur?
the amateur was going to begin with it's called weed.
Wow, nga bagambye kakuba.
They told me that you take weed, you're going to be you're going to have the vibe, you're going to be sogarific. So that was because of pressure. And I was about to take, because when you're with your peers, the only thing you think of is, am I going to fit in? Are they going to accept me if I reject? But what helped me is, for me, I grew up with a mother who was my best friend. She used to tell me these things.
By the way, that is very important.
She told me that you will go to school, and you find friends who teach you drugs. He told me when I was in Form 1.
Before you
Senior
even,
one.
wow.
she told me that you're going to that good school I'm taking you to, but you're going to find friends who are going to tell you that you join us because you should take drugs or you should take alcohol. So I knew.
So what's her name? We want to give credit to
Yeah,
our
she's Mrs. Thompson Jessica.
Wow.
I love you so much.
Yeah. We are very happy to have a mom like her.
So those are some of the reasons why youth are engaged into drugs, because peer pressure, they want to fit in, they want to experience. And let's look at alcohol. It is on record that youths within ages of 15, 16, their first experiences with alcohol. Then there's other drugs. It is on 18 because you think I'm now allowed to take drugs. You know, they tell us don't take unless you're 18.
You
So
explore.
when they reach 18, they want to explore.
You want to kuvumbula.
They want to kuvumbula.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Mr. Ambrose. I think we've had something about that. Viewers, before we go any further, there is something about drug abuse that I would love to share.
Okay.
Drug abuse is not a very, very good thing amongst youths in society. Well, I wouldn't want to say it's all about youths, but I would ride myself back to my childhood. I remember one time, I would call that ignorance. I was very young.